As we're getting ready for the New York Empire to take on the Philadelphia Phoenix. Hello everyone, my name is Chris McGlynn alongside Sean Dacey up here in the booth. We've got Mark Sands running our production set up right now, getting set for an exciting game here, getting to the tail end of the season. Just a couple of games left, second to last weekend of AUDL action. Teams filing in right now. New York enters today's game 6-5, second in the East Division in the AUDL. Philadelphia, on the other hand, 5-6-1. That draw coming against the DC Breeze early on in the season. They actually sit fifth in the East, but just a game out of a playoff spot right now. They are right in the mix as well. Sean, this is an interesting game we've got before us here tonight. These two teams are very talented. However, we're missing a lot of players for both teams. Pro League Challenge going on right now in Colorado. We have to see who steps up for these two teams. For New York, who are we looking at tonight?
I mean, you got the obvious bets. You have Ben Yacht, you have Marquez Brownlee, you have Jeff Babbitt, you have Jabron Meeser, you have Josh Allura as well, and I'm going to be looking out for Elliott Lee, and of course we can't forget Bo Kittredge, can we?
No, absolutely not. Kittredge being one of the major players on this team this year. He's kind of done a little bit of everything between the offensive and defensive ends. His fourth AUDL team, he's won 3 titles already in his AUDL career. And, of course, that not even being the most storied part of his ultimate career. Long-time club player with San Francisco Revolver as well. But the players missing for New York tonight, both Drost brothers, Mike and Ryan Drost. Definitely going to be a bit of a blow to that defensive unit. Harper Garvey, one of the center handlers for this New York team, will not be in action tonight, along with Benjamin Katz. Katz out as well. For Philadelphia, they're missing a host of players, including Himalaya Mehta, Ethan Peck. We end up with Ethan Fortin out tonight, and Nick DiGiorgio will be missing the action tonight as well. So both teams hurting a little bit towards the top of their roster, having to rely on some depth. We're going to get ready now for the national anthem. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with the commentary for tonight's game. Beautiful rendition of the national anthem there, getting us set for tonight's action. No better way to start it than that, for sure. For Philadelphia, they come into this game having lost last week, getting smacked around a little bit by the DC Breeze, losing 25-15 down in the nation's capital. This is a team that's going to need to rebound in a big way if they have any hopes of keeping their playoff chances alive tonight. A loss sends DC home with their season essentially over. They would be eliminated from playoff contention, have no other route to get there. There's a bit of a roundabout way they could get into the playoffs still. They need to win tonight, and they need 2 more losses from New York next weekend, one coming against DC, and one coming again against the Philadelphia Phoenix, as those two teams will face off again next Sunday. So coin toss now. The captains are out on the field discussing who'll be starting on which end. The last time these two teams met was at Joseph F. Facina Field back in May. New York won that game 23-15. Second time this year that the Phoenix were held to just 15 goals, their season low output. Big stars in that game included Ben Yott for New York. He had 4 assists, 3 goals, and 3 blocks, being named the player of the game for New York. On the flip side, Scott Ju was one of the major contributors for Philadelphia when they last faced off. He had 5 assists and 2 blocks. Sean Mott, the franchise leader in goals, scored 4 that night, and Colin Messino had 2 blocks. So those will be a couple of players we'll see in action. Philadelphia's game plan has to be cutting down the turnovers. That was what plagued them the last time around. 21 of them when they last faced off here in New Rochelle. New York, I believe, will be starting on defense here. We got an interesting line out there. Marquez Brownlee, Ben Yott, Bo Kittredge rocking a hat for the first time that I think I've ever seen him play. Josh Aloro, Elliott Lee. Oh, this actually may be an O-line. Interesting O-line look from New York tonight. Marquez Brownlee crossing over, same with Josh Aloro.
Yeah, definitely a mix-up here. We can tell that New York Empire is missing some of the key players, but just showing that they have depth and they can just plug in whoever they want into this system and make it work.
Have to figure that Elliott Lee's in there for Harper Garvey, and Marquez Brownlee stepping in for Ben Katz. Katz is an interesting one. He is 4th on the team in blocks, but also 2nd on the team in goals. Kind of does a little bit of everything for this team. Fills in nicely for them on offense. Obviously, as a goal scorer. Showed up last week. He actually had 5 assists in their game against Montreal. So he's going to be a big loss today. Definitely going to be interesting to see how New York handles not having him on the field. First pull is away. Elliott Lee fields and centers to Josh Aloro.
Matt Esser covering Bo Kittredge here in the center of the field.
Great matchup to watch. A lot of contact there from Igor Smolov, who's matching up against Ben Yott.
Yeah, surprised there wasn't a foul call on that.
Definitely enough contact to warrant one, probably. Matt Aletta now swinging it around to Aloro. Philadelphia seems to be running a forced middle here to start out this game. And Bo Kittredge, the disc bouncing off his hands. Esser picking up right away for Philadelphia, getting their offense running.
It's Dmitry Suvorov in the middle with the frisbee.
Some tight spaces so far. Philadelphia not finding the spacing quite yet downfield. Eric Nardelli upfield now, finding Greg Martin. Greg Martin matching up with Marquez Brownlee. Great matchup there. That should be a lot of fun to watch.
Ooh.
Excellent layout there from Philly. Retaining possession.
Back-to-back scoobers is not going to work out for Philadelphia. They turn it.
Brandon Lamberty from Temple digging that one out and then turns it over on the throw. Kittredge now making up for that last drop on the first possession for New York here. Yott in the middle of the field. Jabron Miser getting the disc in his hands for the first time tonight. Up to Aloro, his former college teammate. Yott now just a couple yards away, looking to bang this one in. Yott, one of the standout players on New York this year, leads the team in assists, or excuse me, second on the team in assists, leads the team in goals. He's been one of the top players on this team all season long, and he flips into the end zone there. Josh Aloro to Jabron Miser for the goal. Miser's first of the afternoon. New York, a little bit of a roundabout way to get there, but a hold nonetheless. 1-0 now, Empire.
Jabron Miser, the assist. Joshua Aloro, his 29th of the season. The Empire lead.
Aloro now with 29 assists on the season. He's going to be a major player to watch tonight, especially without Harper Garvey on the field for this New York offense. He has done well in recent games. Came out really strong last time out. 4 assists, 2 goals, and a block against Montreal in the win up in Canada. So Aloro picking up where he left off. Early assist here for that New York offense. Philadelphia set now. Seeing Scott Ju out there, Ben Davies, Trey Katzenbach, the player coach for this Philadelphia Phoenix team, Sean Mott, as we mentioned during the pregame, franchise leader in scoring for Philadelphia. Katzenbach now, center of the field. Connor Klein coming down to match up with him.
Philadelphia working the disc up fairly easily, just finding the open person.
Marquez Brownlee hanging out over the top there, I believe, looking to take away a pole play, but Philadelphia chipping the disc up the field, taking up a lot of yardage right away. Damiano now back to Trey Katzenbach. Damiano and Katzenbach, the only two players from the original Philadelphia Spinners team that existed the first year in the AUDL before the Spinners left to join the MLU.
Nice around throw from Shane Moat.
Katzenbach now, marked up by Connor Klein. New York patiently forcing Philadelphia to dump it back and around consistently here in this early going. Mike Arcata now, just about 10 yards away. Mott matching up with former club teammate there, Marquez Brownlee. Those two will be facing off all night long. Mott now up into the end zone. That's going to be a goal for Philadelphia. Tying it right now. It's going to be one for Greg Strauss. His second year with the team. Back after missing the 2017 season. Picking up where he left off. Another goal for Philadelphia.
That Philadelphia offense looked very smooth. They got everything they wanted all the way up the field, it seemed.
Lots of patience all the way throughout, and the difference maker there is that they didn't turn the disc over. That was something that we saw them do time and time again the last time these two teams faced off here. Philadelphia could not seem to avoid unforced turnovers, especially getting towards the end of that first half. Good, strong start from them so far. It's got to instill some confidence for them as they get going in this game.
Yeah, let's see if they can carry that momentum for the rest of this half.
New York receiving now. Aletta upfield to Aloro. To Meeser in the middle of the field.
Bo Kittredge just truck sticks Mike Campanella in the middle of the field.
Definitely got the officials' attention there. That's going to be marched off 10 yards. New York foul here. Dave Wenzel on the mark for Philadelphia.
It's an interesting matchup there. Mike Campanella on Bo Kittredge. Both big men.
Kittredge taking a shot downfield looking for Meeser, and Meeser beats his club teammate Wenzel to the end zone. Goal for New York. A lot cleaner this time around for that New York offense. Empire lead 2-1. Meeser beating his club teammate David Wenzel into the end zone. Wenzel, one of the defensive players on this Philadelphia team. His third year in the AUDL, spent 2 years with the Minnesota Windshield back in 2013-2014. Native of Wisconsin, playing his college career out at Wisconsin-Milwaukee College. Empire D-line back on the field once again. Jake Price with the pull downfield. Really nice pull from Price. Get a lot of hang time underneath that, giving the New York defense plenty of time to set up.
Ben Davies picks up to Scott Zoo. He's got Arcata deep. He's going to take the shot.
Arcata running wide open. Beautiful throw from Scott Zoo. Hit him in stride. Easy goal for Philadelphia. And just like that, it's tied up once again.
That's just taking what the defense gives you right there. If you're going to leave a man wide open, going downfield, downwind, you got to throw like Scotty Zoo to take that shot. He's going to take it.
Easy to like two throws, and the Philadelphia offense scores. The centering pass, and then Jew finding a wide open Arcata. Looks like Arletta, ended up with some poor positioning right there off the start. We're just unable to catch up with Arcata as he took off deep there. Arcata, definitely a breakout star for this Philadelphia Phoenix team. Been really strong all season long. One of the top offensive players on this Philly squad. Second year with the team, 24 goals this year, 30 assists. Make that 25 goals now, and then 11 blocks alongside all of that. Excellent pressure there right off the pull from Brander Lamberty. A lot of contact there. Once again, Igor Smolov and Ben Yacht colliding in the middle of the field. Once again, no foul call.
Interesting. Refs seem to be letting them do what they want so far early on in the game.
Meeser back to Aloro. Back up to Meeser. Those two playing an extended game of catch here. Finding Aletta now. Aletta with a nice break throw upfield to Kittredge, and Kittredge scores a goal, beating Esther into the end zone. Kittredge now with a goal and an assist early on in this one. Strong start for this New York offense. Settling down after that first point. Saw a little bit of a wobbly throw come off the hands of Bo Kittredge. Kittredge there looking nice and short-handed into the end zone for his first goal of the afternoon.
Hey, you may not be able to hear this on the stream, but down on the field, the Phoenix defense for their person matchup, they're calling out home and away almost after every throw, switching it up constantly. And that's something that I've noticed only Philadelphia has done.
It's definitely a tough defense to run in the AUDL with how much field space everyone has. There's just a lot more room to work with than on a traditional ultimate field. About 13 yards wider and an extra 10 yards deeper.
Yeah, I think the main goal there is to just keep it on one side of the field. But when the other team's going downwind, it's a lot more difficult.
Trying to funnel everything into the middle of the field. Nice catch there from Sean Mott digging it out upfield to Strauss. Scott Zhu now approaching that goal line. Finding Arcata up line. Arcata scoring another one. 2 straight goals from Mike Arcata. And another assist from Scott Zhu. Those two hooking up once again.
It's 2 points in a row. 2 offensive points in a row.
Seems like a pretty easy offensive set to run. Just get Scott Zhu the disc and let him find Mark Arcata in the end zone.
Yeah, we're not seeing a whole lot of defensive pressure here from either team, it seems.
Well, for New York, they're missing some of their top defensive players. Missing the Drost brothers.
The 2 defensive captains, in Mike and Ryan Drost.
Ryan Drost leads the team with 15 blocks so far this year. Mike third on the team with 12. So definitely big holes to fill for this New York D-line, and so far not really finding a way to get it done. It's still very early on, though, just tied at 3. About 7 minutes and change to go in this first quarter. Philadelphia setting up for their their 4th defensive possession of the game.
It's Greg Martin with the pull.
Elliott Lee fielding upfield to Josh Aloro. Kittredge again finding some space for that easy in cut. Now finding Yacht wide open underneath. Meeser going to work on Eric Nardelli and catching it underneath. Upfield to his former college teammate Josh Aloro. Aloro downfield looking for Aletta and an excellent layout D. Greg Martin getting a hand to it. Preventing a goal there, I believe, for New York.
There's that defensive pressure we were talking about, huh?
Just on the other side of the disc now. Philadelphia stepping up and making a play.
Dimitri with a hammer over to Matt Esser in their own end zone.
Upfield to Martin now, responsible for that incredible layout D to save what would have been a short goal for New York. We're going to get a pick call, forcing Philadelphia even further into their own field. Getting closer to that end zone. Setting up now on the end line is Greg Martin with the disc. Poach come with a double team. Great inside throw from Martin to beat it.
Oh.
And thrown right into the poach of Ben Yacht. Yacht making a smart defensive play there to get the disc back. Upfield throw now. Once again looking for Aletta. Aletta bobbling it and bringing it down. Greg Martin unable to get this one.
Nice inside throw from Cat Stevens there.
Contested throw.
Great focus from Matt Aletta to bring that one in.
One up early, unable to bring it in on his first attempt, and track that disc all the way down into his hands for another New York Empire goal. They lead 4-3 now, just under 6 minutes to go in this first quarter. It hasn't always been the cleanest offense for the New York Empire, but yet to be broken in this one. 4 for 4 on holds, even if they have a couple of turnovers to their name already. Excellent heads-up play on that last point from Ben Yacht to get that D. Hanging out in the lane.
He didn't have to move much. He just kind of stood still.
It's hard to think that Ben Yacht could possibly be considered invisible with how tall he is, but he basically was on that play. Just waited for it to come right into his hands. Scott Zhu picking up now for this Philadelphia offense. Pull floating out of bounds for New York. Matching up with his teammate and actually co-captain on Garden State Ultimate and Shank Aladi. The two of them facing off and know each other very well. Sean Mott taking a shot deep now, looking for Arcata once again. Arcata dancing into the front of the end zone. That's going to be another goal for Mike Arcata. 3 straight now for the second-year man with the Phoenix. Unbelievable start for Mike Arcata. He's been basically untouchable. Not an assist this time from Scott Zhu, still.
Another beautiful throw from Shane Mott, sorry.
Excellent shot throw downfield from Mott, hitting Arcata in stride right into the front of the end zone, just enough on it to get Arcata in for the score. 3 goals already for Arcata. Now, it's a bit early to really start thinking about it, but 3 goals, he's well on pace. We're still in the first quarter here. Arcata could be threatening some team records by the end of the afternoon if he keeps this pace up.
We'll see. I expect New York Empire to adjust appropriately here, if not in this quarter, then the next.
This team is known for its defense, so Brian McGurr, the single-game record holder for the Philadelphia Phoenix with 9 back in 2015.
I actually saw McGurr. He's here in the stands spectating this game, so...
He's been part of this Philadelphia Phoenix team on and off over the last couple of years. Jabron Meeser now middle of the field. Upfield to Yacht. Yacht taking the shot downfield, looking for Stevens, and Stevens coasted into the end zone. Great throw from Yacht and Stevens, just making it look easy. Lots of separation there.
Empire goal scored by number 17, Matthew Cat Stevens, his 24th goal of the season. And the Empire...
Matt the Cat Stevens with 24 goals now on the season for New York. He's shown up in a big way time and time again over the course of this season for the Empire.
Just a very consistent player. A selfless player as well.
Absolutely. So he's making the cut there and just finding the open space. Yacht putting it out on a platter, making it easy for him to run onto. Philadelphia back on offense now as New York's at the pull. Marquez Brownlee with the pull.
Bit of a line drive, but it's going to go the distance.
A little deeper than some of the other pulls we've seen. Definitely not as much hang time, though. Scott Zhu, middle of the field. Finds Arcata. Arcata this time short. We're used to seeing him cut deep early on in this game so far. That one floating a little bit on Arcata. Scott Zhu racing to chase that one down. Damiano finding Ben Davies along this sideline. Katzenbach driving back into the handler space. Little scuba over the top there for Damiano. Arcata with the disc again.
A lot of small ball here from the Phoenix. It's working for them. So why not?
We've seen a couple of deep shots go up the last few points for Philadelphia. So New York adjusting, making Philly play small ball and challenging them to work it in the end zone instead. No issues so far. Great around throw there from Davies. Getting it back from Katzenbach. Upfield for Mott. Mott with a little touch throw around. Throw downfield looking for Strauss. Strauss bobbles it and in the end reels it in. Greg Strauss making it a little more difficult on himself than he probably had to, but a goal nonetheless. Tied it up at 5 now for the Phoenix.
By number 13, Greg Strauss, assisted by number 25, Ray Katzenbach.
Katzenbach with his first assist of the afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, that offense there from the Phoenix is something that they love to do. Trey Katzenbach, the player coach, always preaches embrace the grind. And hey, if you got to play some small ball, at least 20, 30 yards up the field, do it. Switch sides, switch fields, punch it in.
Certainly did it and did it effectively there. Taking a lot of throws to get it in, but doesn't matter how many you throw as long as it gets into the end zone in the end. Greg Strauss bringing that one in for the Phoenix.
Greg Martin with the pull. That one's going to go fairly deep here.
Nice line drive here with a little bit of hang time on it. Getting into the end zone for the first time tonight. Aletta up to Aloro.
Bit of a tongue twister there, eh?
Definitely screwed myself up there a little bit. Interesting defensive look here. Philadelphia settling down now. Another deep shot here looking for Stevens. Stevens downfield. Ooh. Messino giving chase. I think we're going to get a foul call here. Lots of contact for sure. Messino went up early and initiated some contact.
Looked incidental, but contact's contact.
What do you think, Sean? Right call?
I mean, if they let the other 2 calls go early on, I guess maybe this is to make up for those, but if those weren't fouls, then that definitely shouldn't have been a foul.
Another layout here. Esser going through the back of Kittredge. Kittredge hanging on for it, though. And it's going to be Matt the Cat Stevens with the assist.
After the foul,
Bit of an odd, almost anticlimactic point there for New York, but a goal nonetheless.
Absolutely.
6-5 now. Still yet to have a break in this one. These two teams are scoring at breakneck pace. Have to see if the defense shows up at any point for either side.
If I'm not mistaken, it's New York is the only team with turnovers right now?
As far as I'm aware, yeah, I don't think Philadelphia has actually had a turnover yet. Came close with one. Or no, the Philadelphia D-line has had one. Philadelphia O has not.
Yes.
Philadelphia D-line has had a couple. But the Philadelphia O-line yet to even turn the disc over in this one. Very uncharacteristic, not of the Philadelphia offense, but more of the New York defense, which has been excellent at generating turnovers this year. 13 blocks just a week ago, playing up in Montreal. So we'll have to see if they can ratchet up some pressure here as this first quarter draws to a close.
Katzen back to receive up the field to Scott Zoo.
Arcada with the disc once again. Looking for Sean Mott, covered well there by Marquez Brownlee. Mott now getting the disc downfield. Ooh. Brownlee going up, unable to get a hand to it, and Mott catches it in the end zone. It's a goal for Sean Mott. Nice throw there. Nice touch throw from Dustin Damiano.
Yeah, I'm surprised Marquez didn't get that. That's a gutsy throw.
Absolutely. It seemed
Bold
like
strategy, but it worked out.
Brownlee seemed to almost be kind of tempting Damiano into that one and just came up short of knocking that one away. Yeah. Would have been a big D there for this New York D-line there. First of the game if he had managed to get a hand to it.
Yeah, you see Mott and Marquez Brownlee exchanging high fives after that one. These two love matching up against each other. Mott doesn't even care about the height difference. He can still go up there and get on Marquez's height. It's always a good time seeing them go at it.
I don't know that Sean Mott has ever met a man that he doesn't think he can sky.
Can't disagree with you.
New York offense back on the field now. Elliott Lee fielding once again. Upfield for Allura. Allura catching it. Little momentum there.
Looks like a junky look here from the Phoenix.
Definitely so. Kittredge with a hammer over the top.
Great find.
Finding Oleta.
Switching over to a person matchup now.
Definitely seen Philly get creative here with some of their early D looks. They've been going force middle at times. Throwing some junk looks at them as well. Allura now in the back in the middle of the field. Meeser taking off deep. Excellent throw there from Yacht. Meeser accelerating into the end zone, and that's a goal for the New York Empire. Jabron Meeser running that one down. Another assist for Ben Yacht. Is that Meeser's third goal of this first quarter?
I believe so.
Matching Arcada so far from Philadelphia, each with 3 in this opening period. Excellent trust throw there, knowing the matchup, knowing that Jabron Meeser has the speed to go make that play. Yacht putting it out there, letting his offensive cutter go make a play.
Yeah, great trust throw. We know how fast Jabron is. Just put it out in front of him, let him run it down.
And Ben Yacht filling kind of whatever role New York has needed at any point this year. I mentioned earlier, second on the team in assists, first in goals. He's been an all-around offensive monster for this New York Empire team. Big part of the reason why New York is now currently sitting in second place and seems to be in firm control of a playoff spot heading into the final 2 weeks of the season. Arcada taking off again. Mott coming underneath now to get this one. Wanted to put it to Arcada, but ended up holstering, swinging around now for Greg Strauss.
Scott Zoo finds Ben Davies.
Ross Ward matching up with him. Battle of 221s there. Arcada has been dangerous time and time again for this Philadelphia offense. Doing so now in the handler space as opposed to downfield. Connor Klein looking for a pick, not getting one there. Probably had a case as he had to go through Scott Zoo to get there.
I'd agree. Patient offense here from the Phoenix, just taking their time, working it up the field.
The defensive pressure from New York is there, but not enough so to force a turnover so far. Arcada now a couple yards out. Double team coming from Klein. Arcada stepping through, finding Damiano. Upfield to Mott. And Mott dishing into the end zone. Another goal for Philadelphia. Ben Davies with that one, a New Zealander, scoring it for Philadelphia.
Hey, great patient offense there from the Phoenix. They're valuing the disc and they're taking care of it. Yet to have a turn, I believe, right?
Still yet to have a turnover for this Philadelphia offense. Looking nice and patient, showing they can score, taking the deep shot, showing they are very comfortable. As you mentioned earlier, Trey Katzenbach saying they love the grind, they embrace it. Finding a way to get that one in the end zone after a lot of patience on that offense. Davies, the rookie from New Zealand, that is his fourth goal of the year. He's also got 6 assists to his name. Filling in different times this season for Philadelphia, making his impact known early.
I will say he looks a lot better this game than he did last time the New York played the Phoenix here. Looks a lot more comfortable. He's playing better.
This whole Philadelphia offense looked a lot more comfortable the last time we saw them play. Lots of unforced errors. Sean Mott at one point during that game, during a timeout, actually turning and yelling at his teammates due to the frustration over the inability to move the disc. Instead, here we've seen Philadelphia without even a turnover as we approach just a minute to go in this first quarter.
Got to wonder if the difference is not having Mike and Ryan Drost on the field.
Definitely has to hurt the New York Empire defense. Turnover there from Yacht, just miscommunication with Jabron Meeser. Meeser taking off deep, Yacht throwing it under. Lamberty now for Philadelphia, taking a shot upfield. Esser just outside the end zone, Kittredge on him. Esser in trouble now, stall count rising, just lofts it up. Lamberty running onto that one. Inside throw, we're going to get a timeout call here for Philadelphia. Probably the right decision as Philadelphia's offense definitely seemed to be grinding to a halt. Good call from the sideline there. Player coach Trey Katzenbach stepping in and making the call.
You never know if it's a good timeout call
until after the timeout.
Until after the play goes through.
Give you that. Matt Esser, though, getting to a high stall count, looking like he was in trouble there. Huge point right here. Could be the first break of the game for Philadelphia for either team. Would be a really big momentum shift as this first quarter winds down here. Just 42 seconds to go as Philadelphia and New York tied in this one at 7.
The city of New Rochelle. Thank you for your support.
I think we have a case of just having a lot of boring ultimate right now. You know, not much contest on the deep shots. You know, just a lot of small ball being played.
A little bit of a breeze here, but not enough to make any of these throws difficult. The only real intense play we've seen on defense has been from Greg Martin with that excellent layout D in the end zone, but New York still worked that one back and ended up scoring the point anyway, so both teams still looking for the first break in this one. Lots of subs all over the place now. New York putting in their D-line to counter Philadelphia's O-line. Sean Mott picking up the disc here. Double team coming from New York as they set a bit of a junk look downfield. Katzenbach dropping back right away, looking to break this double team before it even really gets a chance to be overly effective. Mott in trouble, though, finally getting it off to Arcata. Yacht closing down the space, unable to get there, though. Inside throw now from Mott to Zhu. Strauss in the middle of the field, wide open, finally finds him. Scott Zhu finding Greg Strauss for the first break of the game for Philadelphia. 22 seconds remaining in this first quarter. That is the first lead for the Phoenix in this one.
Great call. Great timeout call.
You only know after the timeout, but in the end, the substitution works out well. Philadelphia's O-line comes onto the field, gets the break, and gets the early lead now, 8-7, as this first quarter winds down. Enough time left here for New York to do more than just chuck it up, but not a whole lot. Have to move quickly here, getting some height on the field as Ben Yacht, Jeff Babbitt, Bo Kittredge all walk out there alongside Marquez Brownlee, Matt Weintraub, Connor Klein, and Josh Aloro.
We see some of Phoenix's offensive players out here as well, as Sean Mott books it down the field.
Important point here. If they prevent the goal from New York, definitely makes the impact of that break even more so felt for this Empire team.
Phoenix again showing this junky type zone here.
Oh, and a little bit of an errant throw coming from Josh Aloro, unable to get it to Jeff Babbitt. Mott picking up now, 3 seconds to go. Mott lofting it into the end zone, and that's going to be a goal for Philadelphia. Back-to-back breaks to end the quarter. What a momentum shift here. Philadelphia now leading 9-7. Mott with the throw into the end zone, finding James Pollard for the goal.
I mean, if you're the Empire right now, you can't be getting your heads down early. I mean, it's only the first quarter. You're down by 2. Sure, you're the only team with turnovers so far on offense. But you still got 3 more quarters and plenty of game left to play. Let's see if they can, find some energy here and kind of take this time to adjust and start making the plays they need to make.
Tough pill to swallow to end the quarter there for New York as they go down by 2 now. We're going to step aside real quick, take a quick break here in between quarters. We'll be right back with the second quarter of action. Welcome back to Joseph F. Facina Field here in New Rochelle, New York. Philadelphia getting ready to receive to start this second quarter. New York trailing here 9-7. Tough way to end that opening quarter for sure. Philadelphia getting the break to make it 8-7, and then a costly turnover and an errant throw from Josh Alora looking for Jeff Babbitt results in a Sean Mott assist into the end zone for James Pollard. Philadelphia with their O-line out there that has yet to be broken or yet to even turn the disc over in this game.
Let's see if the Empire defense can put on some pressure here and start forcing turns.
That pull from Marquez Brownlee drifting out of play. Definitely going to give Philadelphia some good field position here as they get their offense set. Scott Shue with the disc once again in the middle of the field. Matt Lamar matching up with him. We've seen that matchup already a few times tonight. Shue looking around, holstering in the end. Eventually throws to Strauss. Katzenbach upfield to Arcata. Katzenbach, one of the most reliable players in the game, 98% on his passes this season. Does not turn the disc over often. Deep shot here looking for Scott Shue. Shue using his body, reading it well, and making it look easy as he comes down with in the end zone, dropping it right into his breadbasket in the end.
Yeah, great box out by Scott Shue there. I think that's a matchup we're going to have to keep a close eye on, Matt Lamar and Scotty Shue. I like that matchup a lot.
It's definitely a fun one. We've seen a couple points already in this game. Shue getting the better of Lamar there. A little bit of a questionable throw from Philadelphia, but in the end, Shue using his body well, reading that disc, and making sure that the disc came down into a space that only he could get it.
Yeah, if it works out, I don't think you should be asking any questions, right?
Definitely not in the end. I don't know if the coaches always agree with that, but the players certainly do.
I imagine they were shaking their head on the sideline like, why are you throwing that?
Maybe get a little bit of that, but in the end, no harm done as Philadelphia gets the goal, going up 10-7 now.
That pull going to leave the disc a little streeted. You hate to see it. Going to get a new one here.
Switching it out, though. Officials jumping on that right away. Good field position here from New York to start this point. That pull not traveling very far before finding its way out of bounds. Aloro for Kittredge. Cat Stevens now with the disc. Upfield for Meeser. Aletta.
Oh.
Tossing it for Yacht. The New York offense making it look easy. Plain and simple. Take it what the defense gave him.
Empire goal scored by number 69.
Ben Yacht with another goal in this one.
The assist number 4. Matthew
2 assists now, his first goal of the afternoon. And Oletta with the assist. Nice little flip over the top there for the New York goal.
Empire trail 10-8, 11-12 to go in the second quarter.
That's what you need your offense to do. Just need holds at this point.
Getting back on track there after back-to-back breaks to end that first quarter. A little bit of a confidence boost for that offensive unit.
Looks like Peter Kalmakis getting ready to pull. Nice floaty pull. Gonna land around the 25. Yep.
Lots of hang time there. Jake Price racing down the field for New York. A little bit of a junk look here from New York now. Taking a page out of Philadelphia's book.
Doesn't seem to be very effective, though.
It's Philadelphia just pulling it apart right now. Taking whatever they want.
Yeah, I mean, they love the small ball. You've seen it so far.
Katzen back now, unmarked. Finding Davies. Davies back to Katzen back. Ross Ward finally picking up him. Arcata now on the goal line, swinging it around for Shu. Shu looking downfield for Damiano, floating a bit. Excellent play to bring that in. Safa coming over the top for New York, almost getting the D. In the end, Ben Davies with the goal for Philadelphia.
Great grab by Dustin Damiano to keep that play alive. Pretty sketchy. I thought that was going over his head.
Scott Shu knew he had an open receiver there. This just got away from him a little bit. Almost floating over Damiano's head there. In the end, Davies getting the easy goal after, essentially, Damiano was unmarked on the goal line after Safa runs through, unable to get the D.
Yeah.
Safa's first year with New York. Played 1 year last year with Tampa Bay Cannons, who were, at that point, the Orlando Cannons. They've been all over the place, that franchise.
It's too hard to keep up with.
New York's offense still looking for the first forced turnover in this game. Unable to get a block on this Philadelphia offense yet. Pollard now pulling low line drive pull. Not a whole lot of distance to that one. Philadelphia.
That's a worm burner.
Definitely not the pull they were hoping for.
Jabron streaking deep.
Yacht coming underneath. Aloro now middle of the field. Excellent switch there as David Wenzel hung on the lane. Meeser cutting deep. Wanted to make sure that was not a viable option for New York. Kittredge now middle of the field. Double team from Philadelphia.
Ooh. Good save from Josh Aloro.
Dicey throw, but Aloro got there. A bump on the mark from Mike Campanella, and that's going to give New York some free yardage. Kittredge walking it down to essentially his own goal line. Up line cut there from Aloro. He beats Pollard, and that is a goal for the New York Empire. They trail 11-9 now. It's going to be an easy one. That is easy to like for the throw from Bro Kittredge there. Just having to flip that one into the end zone for Aloro. Aloro now with the assist and a goal on the evening. Playing strong so far. He's been a key contributor for this New York offense all season long. As I mentioned earlier, 4 assists in the last outing along with 2 goals and a block against Montreal. Played well against Philadelphia the last time these two teams met. 4 assists in that game. So no stranger to stepping up in big situations and making some big plays. He's going to need to continue to do so with Harper Garvey out tonight for the Empire.
Yeah, I would actually like to see Elliott Lee get more involved in this offense. I think he's a very solid player. Like we said last game, he's really just a rock. Solid all around. Doesn't make many mistakes.
Elliott Lee reminds you a little bit in terms of his production of Trey Katzenbach almost. He actually is 98% on the season in terms of his completed passes, but no points yet, not a goal or an assist yet to his name. So I'm sure he'll be looking to make that change here as this second quarter rolls on. Katzen back now with the disc. Connor Klein matching up with him once again. Davies up line. Davies looking a lot more comfortable handling almost a little bit in this game. You're more accustomed to seeing him downfield. Arcado over the top looking for Mott. Mott into the end zone. Arcado with the assist. And just like that, another hold for this Philadelphia offense, yet to turn the disc over. The perfection continues well into the second quarter now. We're more than 3 minutes gone by as Philadelphia gets the 12-9 lead now on the Arcada assist for Sean Mott.
I'm a little bit disappointed in the lack of aggression, the lack of passion, the lack of energy from this New York Empire defense right now. We're used to seeing them fired up, making big layouts, big skies all over the place, and we're just not seeing that right now from them. I don't know what it is. I don't know what they need to do, but they need to figure something out and make the right adjustments to turn this game around.
We've talked about some of the key contributors they're missing in Ryan and Mike Drost, and Ben Katz obviously being another key cog to that defense. Those are 3 of their top 4 block getters on this team. If those are the guys that they turn to in big situations when they need to force a turnover. None of them available tonight, so definitely going to need to see someone else from New York step up and make a play.
Does that mean putting Yad on defense, putting someone like Jabron on defense?
It might necessitate that. We haven't seen anybody come up with a block yet, and an overthrow there going off the hands of Aletta. Philadelphia with another chance to break now here, their first chance of this second quarter. Nardelli with the disc. Excellent D from Elliott Lee, forcing it upfield. Gaggle of defenders there. Jabron Meeser goes up and knocks it away.
I mean, if you're going to put an offensive player on defense, I think Jabron's the guy.
Showing right there why we're talking about him switching over to that defensive unit with a nice block out of bounds. I don't know that Philadelphia would be able to bring that inbounds regardless, but Meeser taking all the question out of it. Now Aletta ripping one downfield. That's going to hang up there looking for Matt the Cat Stevens. Nardelli boxing him out and knocking it away. And like that, 2 quick turnovers for this New York team. Little floaty there looking for Esser. Stevens unable to get to it. Lamberty now, middle of the field.
He's got Nard underneath, chooses to go across the field. What a throw.
Looking for Smoloff, and that's going to just sail right out of bounds. And that's actually going to be in.
They're calling it a goal.
Excellent play there. I thought that was going out of play. Smoloff laying out to make the play there.
Yeah, I think that was a bit of a bad read on his part, but hey, he made up with a nice layout catch, so.
Recovered well, getting the play there in the end zone. 13-9 now, another break for this Philadelphia team. The New York offense not turning the disc over often, but when they have, Philadelphia making them pay so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's just an ill-advised tuck there from Aletta. Get the disc on a turn, you need to establish your offense, you need to take time. I mean, my first move, if I'm on that position right there, I'm getting it to the middle, getting it in the hands of my other handler, and trying to facilitate it up the field.
It's a tough play there for sure. No momentum coming up, just walking to that front cone and then taking a rip. We mentioned there has been a little bit of wind tonight, making some of these throws hang up, and that one's certainly hanging up there. Stevens having really no chance on it. Nardelli reading it well, knocking it away, and setting up the opportunity for that Philadelphia goal. So that's Lamberty to Smola in the end zone. 2 of the young studs on this Philadelphia team making the play there. Upfield to Babbitt. First time we're calling his name tonight.
On the offensive side this time.
Mixing it up a little bit. Trying to ensure that Philadelphia does not get another break on them, keeping this gap as small as possible. Excellent cut there to the front cone. Sliding down, keeping his knee in bounds is Matt Aletta. Pippin making the play. And that's going to be another goal for New York. They've reached double digits now, 13-10. Just under 7 minutes to go in this second quarter. Alora with the throw. Aletta having a strong offensive first half so far. 4 points accounted for so far. Making it look easy there. What was a really difficult play to make.
Yeah, great sliding grab, great focus. Way to reel it in.
Tough play getting his knee down just in time to make that one count. Connor Klein now picking up the disc for this New York defense. Get ready to pull. New York with a bit of an interesting group out there. Frank Wang out there along with Ross Ward, Matt the Cat Stevens, Jeff Babbitt, Matt Lamar, and Matt Weintraub, and then, of course, Connor Klein, who just rips it downfield for the pull.
So we see they switched over Matt, the Cat Stevens, and Connor Klein from offense to defense. Let's see if this switch works out.
Different group. Maybe they're running a little bit of a different look here. Certainly forcing Philadelphia to play small ball once again.
Sean Mott goes deep. He's not going to get the throw off.
Patient offense once again. A lot of contact downfield. Mott looking for a call. Not going to get one. Definitely upset with the officials there for missing that.
He's going to take off deep again. Wide open.
Taking a shot downfield looking for Mott. Oh, and Frank Wayne getting a hand to that one. Pulling it away before Mott was able to make a play on it.
Looked like a reverse dunk there from Frank Wang.
And for the first time we've seen all night, a turnover from the Philadelphia offense. First break opportunity for the Empire. Lamar now swinging around to Weintraub. Upfield for Babbitt. New York definitely needs to make use of the few opportunities they are likely to get. First turnover we've seen all night from Philadelphia. Punching this in here would definitely make that one hurt and get New York right back into this one, trailing by 3 right now.
See Babbitt taking control of this defensive offense for the Empire here.
Not used to seeing Jeff Babbitt as a handler, but Jeff Babbitt clearly having no issues doing so. Putting some fancy footwork there on Greg Strauss trying to get open. Strauss doing a good job to deny him the disc. Double team now from Philadelphia. Contact there on the mark.
Ooh.
Going to give Matt Lamar some free yards. We'll go for a walk. Lamar with the swing around to Wang.
Ooh, good find from Frank Wang.
Upfield for Lamar. Excellent toss. Tight little window to fit that one through.
Yeah, just stay patient here. Swing the disc. Find the open man.
Lamar and Wang playing catch in the backfield. Babbitt upfield now. We'll have to see if we see any more of this handler Babbitt on this point. Not something we're used to seeing from him, but been effective so far on this one. Wang on the goal line, and going to be some contact. Trey Katzenbach.
They're calling the foul on Frank Wang.
Frank Wang extending his arm there, getting the call. Katzenbach on the mark, making it a little bit more difficult for New York to punch this in. Upfield now for Weintraub, a couple yards away. Frank Wang taking control of this offensive point. Him and Jeff Babbitt been really active in this handler space. Weintraub now looking to break for Ross Ward, and that is a goal for New York, their first break of the afternoon.
New York needed that. They took their time. They stayed patient. They stayed chilly. And they got their first break of the game. Could be a turning point here in the second quarter.
Definitely something that New York's needed to see happen. Their first block of the game coming here. Frank Wang responsible for that one on the deep shot, looking for Sean Mott, just coming up a little bit short of its intended target. Instead, New York working it down into the end zone, taking a lot of throws to get there. Ross Ward with the goal on the assist from Matt Weintraub.
I think we have a timeout called. A Phoenix called timeout. It looks like. Coach Eileen Murray going out to talk to her defense right now.
Got to be a little more positive now after finally getting the monkey off their back, forcing a turnover for the first time all night from this Philadelphia offensive unit. Certainly been a tough start to the game for this New York defense. 13 blocks just a week ago against Montreal. Only 1 so far in the first 19 minutes or so of gameplay here at Joseph F. Facina Field. New York 6-5 so far this season, needing a win here to hang on to a playoff spot as they enter the final weekend of the season. Philadelphia, on the other hand, with a loss, would be eliminated from playoff contention, would fall to 5-7-1, having no chance to catch the DC Breeze, who currently sit in third place in that East Division. The Toronto Rush locked this division up long ago. No one has been able to come close, really, all season to knocking them off. A couple of close games here and there, but all the same, Toronto's only loss coming to DC earlier this season in the nation's capital.
You can tell the Philadelphia Phoenix really playing with some fire here. They're really fighting for that playoff spot. Let's see if they can hold out for the rest of this game.
Backs against the wall. We've talked a lot about the players that New York has been missing tonight, but a number of key cogs missing for this Philadelphia team. Himalaya Mehta, one of the leading scorers on this team, he's out tonight. Ethan Peck, second on the team in assists, both crucial to that offensive unit. Neither one of them showing up tonight, playing out at the Pro Elite Challenge. And Philadelphia, for a good chunk of this first half, has not really seemed like they've missed them much. Just one turnover so far on that last point.
As you can see, they're just walking it right up the field through this Empire zone here.
Definitely not much to contest the offense so far. Bleed throw over the top from Mott, finding Damiano in the end zone. What a throw from Sean Mott. Getting crafty there.
The vision from Sean Mott. Just tossing up a beautiful lefty butter blade.
Making it look easy. Finding Dustin Damiano in the end zone. Mott with another assist here. 14-11 now. Philadelphia still in front. New York getting the break, unable to get another one here as the offensive unit will head back onto the field for the Empire. Now this Philadelphia defense hasn't forced a ton of turnovers, but they've been good at capitalizing when they have gotten the disc turned over from the New York Empire. Huge step in the right direction after last week. They allowed the DC Breeze to complete 97% of their passes in what was a blowout win for the Breeze down in DC.
Elliott Lee is going to field the pull. Finds Bo in the middle. Takes a little leap, hits the ground, still comes up with the grab.
Back with Lee here. Active mark there from Brandon Lamberty. Seen him playing a decent amount for this D-line early on in the game. One of the young players playing at Temple University down in Philadelphia, just 21 years old. He has been one of the bright spots for that Temple team over the last 2 years. Seems to be Elliott Lee point to run the offense here. He's been in that handler space, getting the disc on the reset. Pretty much every opportunity here.
I don't blame him.
Lee now thought about putting it downfield, instead holsters it. Finds Meeser.
Good break throw to Aletta.
Excellent throw there. And now Stevens wide open in the end zone. Esser giving chase. Unable to get there as Stevens brings it in. Excellent vision there from Matt Aletta to find Stevens in the end zone. The Philadelphia defender poaching off there, trying to prevent the break throw. Matt Aletta making him pay.
The Empire back with it, 2:13 for the half.
Good hold. Sick hold.
Certainly a tough point for the Philadelphia defense. Did a lot to contain the New York offense there. Instead, Philadelphia getting beat over the top there. Esser peeling off to try and make a play. Unable to get close enough to make much of an impact, though. Another assist there for Aletta. He's got 5 points attributed already tonight. 3 assists and 2 goals. And of course, Matt the Cat Stevens with another goal there. He's got 4 points tonight to his name, 2 assists and 2 goals. Those two certainly picking up some of the slack that would definitely be accounted for by Harper Garvey, the team's leader in assists this year. Just edging out Ben Yacht entering this game. Arcata taking a shot downfield now looking for Mott. Mott just short of the end zone. Excellent throw from Arcata. Katzen back now with the disc.
A lot of clogging over there. Finds Scotty Zoo on the around.
Double team now from New York as Arcata gets it back. Small ball with Zhu. Good switch there from New York as Arcata was darting up line. And Arcata beats Lamar to that front cone. Arcata getting the deep throw off to Mott and scoring the goal himself after it doesn't get in the end zone. Scott Zhu with the assist.
This Empire defense looks confused as they walk off the field.
As soon as it seems like they dial into this Philadelphia offense, Philadelphia hits them with something else. We've seen some junk looks preventing those deep throws right off the pull. And as soon as New York switches back to a person defense, Philadelphia taking the deep shot, hitting Sean Mott in stride. So we've seen some junk looks, we've seen some person looks. Anything other than maybe a personnel switch that you could see New York going to as the second half approaches here?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what you need to do. I think you just need to get your players fired up at this point because I'm not seeing a lot of energy. I'm looking over at the Empire bench right now. They're all sitting down for the most part.
It's a pretty stark contrast. That entire Philadelphia team up on its feet, walking along the sidelines, cheering on their teammates. You're right, New York, a number of players sitting down or kind of almost seeming checked out of the game right now.
Yeah, I agree. And it's something we saw against Montreal when they played them here at home as well. In that fourth quarter, Empire kind of started putting their heads down. Montreal started picking their heads up, started picking the energy up, and they ended up winning that game.
Blocked there, but it's going to be called back. Mike Campanella thought he had the D. Instead, it's going to be a foul called. New York will keep possession and move the disc up 10 yards here. Oloro still with the disc. Interesting junk look here from this Philadelphia team. The double team and got a player hanging out right over the top there. Number 15 for Philadelphia, Jordan Cicerone, playing his first ever AUDL game tonight for Philadelphia. Yacht upfield looking for Stevens. Stevens into the end zone. Excellent run by Stevens. Another goal for Matt the Cat. 5 points already in this first half. His third goal of the evening. Ben Yacht with another assist as well. His third of the game so far. Philadelphia doing a lot of good there, making it tough for New York to find open receivers, challenging them to play some little bit of a contested throws in that short field space, but once they get past the initial layer of that zone, Yacht making the Philadelphia defense pay.
The only thing that concerns me, at least from this point that we just saw from the New York Empire offense, is even though Josh Lora was getting double teamed, he had two wide open people right to his right. And he didn't hit him.
Definitely.
But he got the throw off, found his dump, and then eventually we got it over to those people on the other side there.
That double team certainly making it difficult for Oloro to see much downfield and certainly to get the throw off. Mike Campanella coming very close for Philadelphia to getting a D there on the mark. Philadelphia back on offense here. Still just the one turnover so far for the team. At the beginning of the second quarter. So we just have 30 seconds left to go here. Philadelphia doesn't need to rush anything, but starting to run out of time here.
Good patient offense here, just finding the open person.
Arcata now with the disc. 15 seconds to go. Taking a shot downfield, looking for Sean Mott. Scott Zhu there as well. Mott elevating and bringing it in. Sean Mott goes up and makes the play.
Wow. That boy can fly.
16-13 now, Philadelphia leading. Unbelievable effort from Sean Mott, going up over several taller defenders and some of his own teammates to make the play. Should not come as a surprise. Mott, one of the offensive keys for this team, but you never get bored of seeing Sean Mott make an incredible play in the end zone.
Nope.
Philadelphia back on front by 3 now. Just 8.5 seconds to go on the scoreboard here to our right. New York putting the height line back out there. Kittredge, Yacht, Babbitt, and Marquez Brownlee walking on there with Lamar, Connor Klein, and I believe that is Matt Aletta at the end of that line.
Interesting to see. We don't see Josh Loro out there. We don't see Elliott Lee out there on this offensive possession here.
Oh, yeah, have time for one more rip, and we're going to get one downfield now.
Only 2 Phoenix defenders back there. Not sure if that was supposed to happen, but it goes out the back anyway.
Carrying out of play there, the Aletta Huck, unable to find a target in the end zone. New York certainly had numbers, but does not matter in the end. The end of the first half, 16-13 here. Philadelphia leading at halftime. Bit of a surprise. Philadelphia looking really strong and sharp offensively. Just the one turnover in this first half. New York, a team known for its defense, certainly missing some of its biggest defensive playmakers so far. Step aside now and get our halftime break in. New York trailing 13-16 here in New Rochelle.
Ultimate Frisbee? Yeah, you play that with dogs, right?
Excuse me?
Is it a sport, or is it an adjective, or what? I mean, what are we talking about here? What's so ultimate about it?
You can call it ultimate disc if you want.
Jeff, 2 words, foot and ball. Frankie, it's me. I got a guy for your arena football league. He's big. He's ruthless. He'll leave a quarterback toothless. 15 grand, you can have him.
With the layout score.
Nah, man. I'm good with ultimate.
Play more ultimate. The AUDL.
Early recognition is critical. Teaches middle school PE classes about ultimate frisbee and cancer symptom awareness.
We're a registered nonprofit that advocates for an active, healthy lifestyle, body awareness, and speaking up if something is wrong.
Skills that, when it comes to cancer, can help save a life. Ultimate is a fast-paced team sport that's self-refereed, non-contact, and co-ed.
Spirit of the game is the foundation of Ultimate. That means we communicate respectfully, we're fair-minded, and we enjoy the game.
Ultimate is accessible to everyone. All you need is a Frisbee and some friends. Our team of coaches is made up of experienced and passionate leaders from the Ultimate community.
We teach kids that playing fair is more important than winning.
We can come to your middle school and run your PE classes for the day. And if we're not in your area yet, we'll send you our clinic in a box, where we give you the resources to run your own.
Ultimate Frisbee is one of the fastest growing sports in the world.
Teachers and parents love Ultimate Frisbee.
We are Eric!
And we want to work with you and your school.
Hey, so what am I supposed to call you?
I'm you, man. Just smaller.
So, Jeffy?
Call me Little Babbitt.
Clever.
Whatever. Call me Ishmael. I don't care. Look, it's a beach. Let's go play that silly game you play. Frisbee, right? Come on. Let's go. Yo, look at me. I'm playing Ultimate, man.
Throw the hammer.
There. Damn.
Don't worry, I got another one.
I'm a handler, not a cutter, Jeff. Wait, I need my gloves.
No! Come on, man. You gotta catch that.
Play more Ultimate. The AUDL.
Second half of action about to get underway here. Treated to an excellent performance by the ice-cold drum line at halftime here, making the halftime a lot more enjoyable. New York trailing 16-13, loosening up now to start out this third quarter of play. Now, Sean, we saw what was almost a little bit of a passive New York defensive unit here in this first half. You got to think they're going to step up the intensity in the second half here. Only one forced turnover so far. Have to see if this New York D-line makes a difference in the second half and starts making some impact plays.
They're running out of options. You really have no other choice but to start getting aggressive. Stop letting this Phoenix offense, have a free 30 yards right off the pull. Got to figure out a way to stop them from running their running gun and also from stopping them from going deep.
Lots of defensive pressure going to be needed here in the second half of this one. And this game is far from over, obviously. 16-13 here as the third quarter gets underway. New York is certainly aware of how quickly the game can change, leading the last time they were at home against Montreal for pretty much the entire game until the fourth quarter. Montreal scoring the final 4 points of that game to come out with the win.
Jabron Meeser looks off Yacht deep, sorry.
Looking downfield, and just not enough on it from Yacht. Greg Martin laying out there, looking for the initial block, and Yacht overthrowing Matt the Cat Stevens. Stevens is fast, but not quite that fast.
I believe that was Matt Aletta.
Oh, you're correct. That is Matt Aletta on that one. Aletta also fast, not quite that fast, though, either. Pick call downfield. Going to be coming back to Dustin Damiano. Or, excuse me, Dimitri Sukrov on the goal line here. Well into his own end zone now. Igor Smola coming back for this one. Upfield throw, floating a little bit. Greg Martin elevating to go get it. Aloro almost pulling the trigger there on what would have been a crucial D for this New York offense as they look to get possession back. Colin Messino now along the sidelines, upfield, finding Martin again. Igor Smola now. Thought about putting it up for Matt Esser in the end zone inside. Finds Surdov in the front of the end zone, and Meeser runs onto it. Meeser coming out with the disc there. Another D for Jabron Meeser. His second already of the game. Second time on offense as well, getting it back for this New York O-line. Little scuba over the top. Elliott Lee now up to Bo Kittredge. Kittredge taking a shot downfield, looking for Josh Aloro. Aloro going up, unable to bring it in. A lot of contact, but not going to be called. Martin now swings it upfield for Nardelli.
It's a great bit there from Dimitri Suvrov, just to kind of intimidate Joshua Aloro into dropping that disc.
Aloro had it in his hand. Great effort there on defense from Philadelphia.
This Phoenix defense has a second opportunity here to score. Greg Martin's going to rip it.
Two players downfield, and Aloro going up to get it instead. Going up in between Smola and Messina to knock it away. Timeout here from the Empire as Eileen Murray looks to organize this offensive unit. Unhappy with what she has seen so far from this offensive unit.
It's the first point out of half.
Not a great start to the second half for really either team, but especially for New York. An offensive point for them, and looking like they are struggling to find a rhythm right now with their offense.
At this time, we'd like to thank our partners and sponsors. Discraft, Universe Point Cleats, Spectators Fund, Chubb Insurance, 5 Ford Subaru.
2.5 minutes gone here in this third quarter. New York just regrouping now. Taking a couple of seconds here to breathe and figure out what's been going wrong with the already 2 turnovers on the first point out of half for the Empire.
It's been uncharacteristic of this New York Empire offense. Got to wonder if they're really missing Harper Garvey right now.
Harper Garvey and Ben Katz as well. He's been a key contributor to this offense, and you have to give this Philadelphia defense some credit after not really showing up in their last game against DC. Mentioned earlier, allowed 97% of DC's passes to be completed, clearly forcing a lot of turnovers here for New York. Some of them unforced errors from the Empire, but majority of them have been great plays made by this Philadelphia defense. Got to give them credit.
Right, I mean, it's interesting to note that the Empire seem to be missing more players on their defensive side, while the Phoenix are missing more players on their offensive side.
Philadelphia offense not missing a beat, though. Only one turnover in that first half. Yet to see them in the second half due to how long this first point has been for this Empire O-line unit. Upfield now for Meeser. Aletta taking off. Babbitt subbing in during the timeout. Upfield for Kittredge. Kittredge falling over, taking a shot. Meeser laying out and saving possession for New York. Injury call, though, from Meeser.
That's not good.
Definitely did not look comfortable. Incredible effort to get down and get underneath that, but that turf can be a little bit unforgiving. He'll walk off the field under his own power. Doesn't look too serious, just getting a little banged up there.
If I had to guess, it was probably something in the hip bone area region, that a core area there looked like he was grabbing.
Certainly did not look comfortable. Marquez Brownlee checking in now for New York. Aloro streaking up line. Little scoober from Brownlee into the end zone. And it takes him a while, almost 3 minutes of game time, but New York gets the first hold out of half. Got to give a lot of credit to that Philadelphia defense, but Brownlee to Aloro in the end zone for the goal. Just like that, Marquez Brownlee subbed in for the injury, makes his impact felt right away. Nice little scoober to Josh Aloro there.
Quite the nifty little scoober by Marquez. Very shifty throw. I can dig it.
No pivot involved at all, just flicked it over the top for Aloro. Aloro, plenty of speed to go track that down. Brownlee staying out there now to pull for this defensive unit. Lamar out there alongside Matt Weintraub, Babbitt, Connor Klein, Ross Ward, and Frank Wang, responsible for the only New York D so far on the defensive unit in this game. Knocked away a deep shot intended for Sean Mott towards the end of that first half. Arcata in the middle of the field. Strauss now double teamed. Breaks through and finds Trey Katzenbach.
Arcata streaking deep.
Damiano thought about it, but in the end, content to play small ball with Katzenbach. Arcata taking a shot now, looking for Scott Zhu. Lamar giving chase, and Scott Zhu elevating to bring that one in. A little too easy there for that Philadelphia offense. Quick hold for them, under 30 seconds gone, and 17-14 now, Phoenix leading.
So a lot of this Phoenix offensive movement kind of happens right around the disc within about 5-10 yards. I will say that the Empire defense there was a much tighter, and there was a little bit more pressure there, as you can see. But once Phoenix swings it over to the opposite side of the field, it's hard to keep up with that.
Arcata doing a nice job to continue the momentum and break that throw all the way downfield. Nice flick into the end zone for Scott Zhu. Zhu going up and getting it there, giving Lamar no chance at the date. Greg Martin out there now for that Philadelphia D-line, getting set to pull. Marquez Brownlee crossing over once again for the New York offense here. Seen him playing a decent amount of points here in this game. Yacht taking off deep. Aloro thought about putting it. Instead comes underneath for Kittredge. I actually think that might have been intended for Matt the Cat Stevens. Kittredge having a dive to bring it in.
Empire taking their time as Marquez finds Benyat on the far side of the field. Bo Kittredge with the disc now. He's going to find Elliott Lee. Puts a nice floaty little backhand to Josh Aloro.
Patient offense here for New York.
It's working, though.
Aloro.
Two players cut into that cone.
Into a high stall count here. Flips it up for Kittredge. Esser almost getting there. Drawing a lot of contact, but Kittredge bringing it in. Aloro once again. Back to Kittredge. Now to Elliott Lee. A lot of contact in the end zone there. Smola and Yacht getting tangled up. Not for the first time tonight. We've seen that matchup result in some Bodies hitting the floor throughout this game.
Yeah, and they're going to call that on Yacht.
Going to go against New York here. Elliott Lee march back. Lee upfield just outside the end zone, able to get in. And flips it for Matt Stevens. That's Elliott Lee's first point in the AUDL. The assist goes to Lee, and the goal goes to Stevens. 17-15 now. Phoenix still leading in this one. And we see Elliott Lee. You talked about him in the first half, Sean. Stepping up there, getting a larger role in this offense, getting his first career assist for the New York Empire.
Yeah, I would like to see more of that. Elliott Lee is a great player. I want to see him get a little bit more aggressive, start taking some shots, you know?
Definitely known as being a patient player. We mentioned earlier in the first half, 98% completion percentage so far this season. That was his first career assist we just saw. He has been one of the underrated parts of this New York offense all season long. Does not turn the disc over often and is calculated in the shots that he does take downfield. Great reset handler and consistently finding the space in the backfield to get himself open.
Yeah, just a great facilitator.
Put your hands together for the Empire D.
Short pull here from New York. Davies up to Zhu. Now for Arcata. Arcata been doing a lot of damage so far tonight for this Philadelphia offense. Stepping in, Ethan Peck missing tonight from this Philly offense.
Ooh.
Excellent throw there, and Ben Davies with an excellent layout to dig it out. And Dustin Damiano in the end zone. Davies with the incredible play.
Wow.
Frank Wang almost getting a hand to it. Would have knocked it away before Davies ever had a chance at it. Instead, Davies making a great layout just outside the end zone. Flips it up for Dustin Damiano for the goal.
We don't have the best angle here to see if that was actually a catch or not. But both referees instantaneously called that one up.
Officials calling it up, and the goal will stand there. 18-15 now, Philadelphia leading over New York. About halfway through this third quarter of action. Now, New York has looked pretty sharp on offense. Not too many turnovers after that first point, but no signs of a defensive stand here from the New York side of things. Philadelphia and New York trading so far. These teams scoring a handful of points out of half. No breaks in the second half so far. Lots of space upfield for Oletta. Elliott Lee back out there, facilitating the offense as Josh Aloro takes a seat for this offensive point.
The Phoenix sideline has a microphone over there.
Definitely making it easier to hear out the calls. Meeser back in there and manages to get his feet into the end zone. That's a goal for Jabron Meeser. Excellent field awareness there from the cutter to get himself into the end zone, both feet in for the New York goal. Happy to see Meeser back out there. Looked like he was a little banged up the last point he was on. Clearly not letting him keep it out of the game, though.
Yeah, that's a player that you do not want to lose on your offense.
Fourth goal tonight for Meeser, having a good performance so far. Be one of the key contributors for this New York offense. And the New York defense back out there needing a break. Trailing by just 2 here, but been a lot of trading so far. Not enough defensive pressure put on. Philadelphia's offensive unit still just sitting at 1 turnover so far in this game. Pretty close to perfection from Trey Katzenbach's group.
That's very impressive. Especially since it's something that, we mentioned before the beginning of this game was that Phoenix needs to not turn the disc over. And I guess they heard you because they haven't been turning it over that much.
It's nice when I actually get to be right about something like that. It's usually something where, it's an obvious thing to point out as well. Just don't turn the disc over. You'll play well.
Yeah.
Damiano now in a little bit of trouble on the sidelines here. Jake Price with an excellent mark. Mott upfield, though, keeping himself in bounds. Shu and Alady matching up once again.
Pick called on the Phoenix.
Gonna force Philadelphia back. Scott Zhu marching off 10 yards, matching up with his club teammate once again. Klein on Trey Katzenbach. We've seen that matchup quite a bit tonight. A little bit of heckling from the stands. The direction of some of the Phoenix players, all in good fun.
Yes, this New York crowd is out in very strong numbers tonight, doing their best to heckle this Phoenix offense into a turnover if this New York Empire defense can't do it themselves.
Beautiful night tonight as well. Lots of fans coming out enjoying the nice weather. Shu upfield once again. Finds Strauss. Back to Shu. Katzen back. This Philadelphia offense, in a word, is clinical. Moving the disc consistently. Finding the open space.
Just grinding this defense down.
Willing to work it side to side. Not afraid to dump the disc back and let other players make a play. Shu just on the goal line now. Flipping it upfield. That's going to be a goal for Arcata. Arcata with another one for Philadelphia. 19-16 now. Philadelphia leading. Arcata putting on a show for this Phoenix offense. Pointed to earlier a number of the Philly players that were missing. Notably Himalaya Mehta and Ethan Peck, two of the top goal scorers for this team. And Mike Arcata saying, don't worry about it, I'll put the team on my back. Continues to make plays over and over again in this one.
I'm very impressed with the depth of this Phoenix roster. You know, they don't have a huge amount of big names like the New York Empire might have. You know, there's a lot of relatively unknown faces on this Phoenix roster. And I don't really think they care. They're coming out here, they're showing who they are, and they're doing a great job.
Backs against the wall. Philadelphia facing elimination. A loss would end any chance at making the playoffs for the Phoenix. Lee and Yacht playing a little bit of small ball there. Getting a lot of yardage out of that. All the way up to just about midfield.
This Empire offense looking like they're starting to move with some purpose here.
Kittredge downfield. Floated up for Yacht. Yacht using his body position. Bringing it in. A lot of contact from Igor Smola. Yacht having none of it, though.
Oh, my Yacht.
Little bit of contact for sure, and I think we're going to get a little bit of conversation after that one as well. Officials diffusing the situation quickly, though. Yacht making sure that Smola had no chance at that one. Kittredge floating it up there a little bit, but Yacht bringing it in for the goal.
Yeah, I'd like to see more of that. You know, use your big men, send them deep. Start sending Kittredge deep. Start sending Yacht deep. Send Jabron deep. Send Marquez deep.
Ben Yacht playing.
Please send Babbitt deep.
Let's see that butter cannon.
Ben Yacht playing his 4th year in the AUDL. Played 3 years previously with the Minnesota Windchill. It's where he went to school when he was in college. University of Minnesota won a national championship there back in 2016. Yacht, definitely a decorated player, and just at 25 years old, part of this New York Empire core that has the potential to be pretty good going forward for the next several years.
Yeah, absolutely. Katzen back up the field to Scott Zoo on the sideline.
Lamar matching up with him once again. Wang taking the Arcata matchup.
I got to see him starting to see a little bit more pressure here from this Empire defense.
Definitely a little bit more energy, a little bit more intensity from this New York Empire group. Esser now with the disc. Double team from Jake Price.
Phoenix offense looking a little bit stagnant too.
Lots of switches here from this New York Empire team, preventing that quick movement we've seen a lot of so far from this Phoenix offense.
Big swing to Scotty. Right over to Sean Mott. He's going to find Arcata. He's got a man going deep. He's going to choose not to.
A lot of free unders here. Definitely the intensity's picked up and the windows are smaller, but Philadelphia is still content just to work it short, embracing that grind.
Taking care of the Frisbee. It's the name of the game.
Arcata with another looping forehand over the top. Downfield to Strauss. Jake Price able to get there. Strauss going up and getting it. It's going to be another goal for Philadelphia. Arcata putting it downfield there. Another loopy forehand. Putting just enough touch on it for Greg Strauss to bring it in.
Yeah, beautiful throw. We have a bit of what we like to call a thrower's breeze here tonight. You know, it's coming from right to left for you viewers at home. But it's not, the wind isn't too bad. It's a couple knots.
It's strong enough that it'll, couple of knots. It's strong enough that it'll Definitely get a couple of throws to float up there, but certainly makes it easy on some of these throwers heading down to this far end zone to our left. Arcata showing up once again, having a phenomenal night offensively here tonight. Only 1 goal last week, 3 assists, and a pair of blocks against DC. Certainly eclipsing that performance already through just under 3/4 of action. Meeser coming underneath now. Looking nice and strong after a little bit of a tumble early on. Thought he might have to leave the field for a bit. Comes back pretty quickly. Downfield, quick offensive score.
There you go.
Ben Yacht finding Matt the Cat Stevens in the end zone. Stevens with another goal, and Yacht with yet another assist. Stevens putting on a show. 5 goals tonight and 2 assists already for Stevens. He has been sensational in this one. Came into tonight's game with 23 goals. That total up to 28 now for the former Miami, Ohio man, making it look easy. But a number of times tonight, Ben Yacht just putting it out to space, trusting his cutters downfield to go run onto that disc. Talked about that breeze a little bit too, just letting him sit it out there on the wind.
Yeah, if you're the New York Empire offense, you need more throws like that from your handlers, from your cutters. Just trust each other, you know? Just put it out there and trust that your teammate's going to go make a play on it.
The majority of this game, the offense has not been the issue. Seen the defense struggling to get on track as Philly has looked sensational really throughout most of this game. Almost through 3/4 now, still just the 1 turn for the Philadelphia offense. Almost a second one there. Greg Strauss just getting that over the head of Matt Lamar on the double team.
Gave him a bit of a haircut there, I would say.
Close shave for sure. Scotty Shue now looking downfield for Sean Mott. Mott just shy of the end zone. Some contact right away from Frank Wang.
Frank Wang not letting him get to the spot.
That's going to allow Sean Mott to center the disc now on the end line. There's playing physical defense, and then there's playing physical defense that gets a foul called, and that's what Frank Wang did there. Double team now. Babbitt dropping off.
Trey Katzenbach wide open. Ma with a nice break throw.
Katzenbach with the goal. The player coach gets one here for the Phoenix. Sean Mott with another assist. Continues to build on an impressive offensive season. Now, and we've talked a little bit about Sean Mott, and I've mentioned the fact that he is the franchise leader in goals for Philadelphia. He's also the franchise leader in points played, completions, and assists for Philadelphia, just adding to his own totals tonight. And only the age 24, Sean Mott has a lot of ultimate left in him. He could be setting numbers and records for this team that stand for a long time.
I want to put his name in the ballot for the AADL MVP vote. I'm going to nominate him. That's all I got to say about that.
I don't see why not. Mott's certainly been one of the top players in the league. He's got one of the top plus or minus ratings as well in the AUDL. He's been really strong for this Philadelphia team. They've relied on him throughout, and that's not to say that he's the only offensive contributor for Philly, but I think you're right. If you're talking about this from the perspective of the most valuable player, Sean Mott probably fits that billing.
Absolutely, I would agree.
Upfield now. Shot downfield. The 2 Rutgers teammates connecting. Jabron Meeser finding Josh Oloro in the end zone. Another goal for Oloro. And Meeser adding on to his impressive offensive performance. 4 goals already and now an assist. Offense looking fluid there for New York, Sean. Seen them settle down a little bit.
Yeah, they made quick work of that Phoenix junk look and just carried their momentum through the person defense.
Definitely a tough start of the half. Makes you forget about some of the struggles. It took them just over 3 minutes to score that first point. 2 turnovers and a lot of question marks after that initial point. Definitely settling into a rhythm here as the third quarter has rolled on. Minute and a half to play now in the third. New York still trailing by 2. They've been trading all quarter. Neither team with a break in this third period of play.
Let's see if the Empire can hold on to this momentum and maybe make a break play right here.
Poles hanging up there a lot coming this way. That breeze maybe a little bit stronger than we realize on some of these pulls.
Does bounce and bounds, though.
New York making it really difficult to get off the sidelines here. Davies thought about ripping it downfield. Mott coming back to bail out Davies there. Around to Katzenbach. Trey Katzenbach is quite the story. Been playing for elite level Ultimate for as long as most people can remember. For as long as I certainly can. He's 47 years young at this point. Still playing at a high level now. Player coach position for Philadelphia. And gotten Philadelphia into a really competitive spot. This team, not really competitive. Hadn't really picked up a whole lot of wins over the last several years. Katzenbach certainly setting the tone here and adding a bit more talent to this team as well. Unforced error there from Philadelphia. Just the second turnover for this offensive unit all game long. Shank taking off deep. Connor Klein not going to put it there. Just over 30 seconds to play in this third quarter. Marquez Brownlee finding Connor Klein in the middle of the field. Now Klein to Yacht. Klein downfield. Yacht putting it downfield. Klein stretching out and bringing it in.
There you go.
And just like that, we finally have a break here. 21-20 now. New York trailing by just a goal in the final seconds of this third quarter. Took them long enough, but finally got a break here in this third quarter. The first for either team in the second half.
We saw Ben Yacht and Connor Klein both making the switch from offense to defense there. A little bit of what we talked about earlier. Looks like it worked out in their favor.
Eileen Murray certainly making that switch there. I remember after the last game that New York played at home against Montreal, in which we saw that fourth quarter comeback from the Royale, Harper Garvey after the game in Evan Lepler's Tuesday toss was quoted as saying that they maybe ran their cutters a little bit too hard, that they put a little bit too much of the onus on them early on in that game and made sure that they were not able to finish the game at the same level that was expected of them. We've seen Eileen Murray wait until deep in this game to start crossing over some of her top cutters. We'll have to see if that pays off here as the final quarter approaches.
So now Ben Yacht staying on defense for the Empire. Bo Kittredge on defense now.
Lots of height out there, trying to get as much height as possible for New York as they look to prevent a deep shot downfield. Just 7 seconds remaining here for Philadelphia. Running out of time. Kittredge laying out! Unbelievable play from Bo Kittredge. Ripped downfield looking for Weintraub. The buzzer's gone off. And Weintraub not going to get there, but what a sensational play from Bo Kittredge.
Yeah, Sean Mott hesitating there a little bit. Don't think he recognized that was to him right away. Once he did, it was too late.
Definitely looked like he was trying to size up where everyone else was on the field, figure out how much time was left. Kittredge making him pay, making that break even more impactful for this New York defense as they now hold Philadelphia without a point on the final possession of this third quarter. New York trailing still just by one now, 21-20. We'll step aside here for a quick break as we get ready for this fourth quarter of action. Excellent finish in store here in New Rochelle. Welcome back for the fourth quarter of play here at Joseph F. Facina Field in New Rochelle, New York. New York Empire trailing by 1, coming out on defense here, getting a huge break to finish that third quarter, and then Bo Kittredge with a sensational layout D to prevent the Phoenix from scoring 1 in the final seconds of that third quarter. Marquez Brownlee out here. Definitely a little bit of a tough performance here from Brownlee. He's known as being a great defensive player, and we're not doubting that at all, but Sean Mott's had a bit of a field day out there today. Brownlee not really doing as much as I think a lot of people expected against Mott. Prevented him from taking a ton of deep shots, but Mott's been able to get open underneath and work this offense all night long.
Yeah, as we just saw there, it is definitely a little bit harder for Mott to throw around Marquez Brownlee's wide mark.
That pressure certainly making it difficult. Yeah, with the layout!
Oh my God!
Getting right past Dustin Damiano, and just like that, Yacht and Kittredge now with back-to-back layout Ds. Yacht crossing over for that D-line once again. Jake Price taking a shot downfield. Oh, we get the matchup now. Mott and Brownlee downfield. Brownlee going up and skying Mott! And that's another break for New York, tying the game up at 21.
Mott doing everything he could there to box out Marquez. Does a pretty good job, but Marquez Brownlee's length, his reach is just way too much for him.
Certainly had the positioning. Brownlee just going up over him. Great play there from Ben Yacht to knock that one away, get the disc back for that New York Empire defense, and now, just like that, in 2 of the last 3 points, we've seen New York with a break after having only 1 in the first 40-some-odd points of this game. Jake Price, excellent rip there downfield, trusting his receiver Brownlee to go up there and make a play. Those two have a lot of experience playing together, playing with Garden State Ultimate based in New Jersey the last couple of years. That chemistry certainly on display there. Momentum certainly favoring New York now as this fourth quarter gets back underway. Just under a minute into this fourth quarter, and New York already with a couple of big plays to get themselves back even here with Philadelphia. Scott Shue taking a shot downfield looking for Greg Martin. Frank Wang going up, almost got it like he did the Sean Mott play earlier. This time Martin brings it in.
Finds an open David Wenzel.
Lamberty now over the top. And back to Wenzel in the end zone. Scott Zhu finding Dave Wenzel, his club teammate. A lot of GSU players out here tonight connecting in the end zone. 22-21, Philadelphia restoring their lead. Great play there by Greg Martin to reel in that deep shot. Frank Wang closing fast. Martin coming back, though, and making sure he didn't wait a second longer than he had to attack that disc.
Yeah, Frank Wang, 1 for 2 on the reverse dunks tonight.
Came close again there. I didn't think he had it in the first time, and after seeing it happen against Sean Mott in that first half, kind of expected him to do it again there.
It's a defensive technique I've never seen one like that before.
It's an interesting one. He goes up and tries to attack almost the opponent's hands. He tries to attack it as they're looking to catch the disc rather than attacking the disc itself. Smart play, honestly. He's come close now on that last one, and obviously got one earlier on in this game.
Greg Martin here at the big pull.
Martin doing a little bit of everything in this game, pulling, coming up with some big plays downfield. Kittredge once again initiating this offense. He's been open underneath, not for a ton of yards, but pretty much some sort of gain all night long.
Oh,
questionable throw there. Eric Nardelli running through. Lamberty picking up now for Philadelphia. Tossing it in the end zone. That's a goal for Philadelphia. They get their break right back here in this fourth quarter. James Pollard with the goal on the assist from Brandon Lamberty.
Again, it's hard to tell. There might have been a little bit of contact on the mark there on Josh Aloro's throw.
Even still, Philadelphia making sure they capitalize on the turnover, scoring quickly, one throw after the turn. Now it's a 2-point deficit for the New York Empire. All that momentum they had at the beginning of this quarter, a minute and a half later, is gone.
Let's see if their offense can recover quickly. Looks like just about the same line from last point there.
Not a whole lot that you can complain about there. A little bit of an errant throw, maybe not the best decision in the world. Nardelli closing well for Philadelphia to knock that one away.
As this pull goes out of bounds here.
Been floating out of bounds, heading this direction pretty much all night long.
Looks like Josh Alora will take it in the middle of the field. At about the 30-yard line.
Getting that brick set up. Brandon Lamberty set up on him once again through the last assist. Brownlee taking a shot downfield looking for Yacht. Igor Smola giving chase. Yacht going up, unable to get there, though. Smola had much better positioning on that one.
If you're the Phoenix defense, that's what you want. You want the Empire to start panicking a little bit, start taking deep shots. You want their offense to start getting a little bit impatient. Now let's see if they can convert here.
Don't know if I question the look there from Marquez Brownlee, but the execution definitely could have put a little bit more OI flick on that.
Speaking of
questioning the execution, I think we have a foul call, though. Oh, no, that's going to be waved off. The official was just chatting. Oh, it is going to be coming back. Going to be coming back to Greg Martin here. A lot of contact. That probably explain why that Huck looked so wayward. Yes. Elliott Lee on the mark. Double team coming here. Josh Alora dropping off. Lamberty behind to break that double team. Alora laying out, unable to get there. Came close to knocking it away from Greg Martin. Colin Messino. Upfield to Mike Campanella. Smola.
Looks like we have a timeout called by the Philadelphia Phoenix.
Another timeout for Philadelphia. Should be a big point here. A chance for another break. Would be 2 in a row here for Philly. Will restore a 3-point lead, which they carried for most of the game and throughout most of that third quarter before New York went on a bit of a run there to close it out. Also gives them a chance to put some subs in as well, as Philadelphia will likely sub in their offensive unit. New York will counter with their D-line. Ben Yacht staying out there, though, it appears, for New York. I think New York's going to be riding him until he really can't run anymore at the end of this game. They need this game badly. Really changes the road that New York has to go through. A win here sets them up well heading into the final weekend of play. They'll play a double against DC on Saturday and then Philadelphia in Philly on Sunday. So needing to win at least one of those games, and if they lose tonight, needing to win both to secure a playoff spot and taking things out of their own hands potentially with a loss here tonight. Philadelphia, we mentioned a couple different times, trying to keep their playoff hopes alive, needing a win here to even have a shot at sniffing the postseason when this is all said and done. Sean Mott walking up now to pick it up for this offense. Bo Kittredge will be matching up with Mott now. That's a fun matchup. We saw that at the end of the third quarter, resulted in a huge layout D from Kittredge.
We also have Babbitt matching up with Arcata.
Have to see if Babbitt can do anything to slow down Arcata. Lamar looked a little confused there about some miscommunication. Thought Connor Klein was supposed to be picking up shot. Scott Zhu on the up line.
Phoenix playing a little bit more small ball, working it backwards a little bit. Still finding open receivers.
New York making these throwing windows very tight, content to force Philadelphia backwards here.
Oh,
layout bid there from Arcata to bring that one in. Switched on to now and just overthrown by Arcata. Connor Klein taking off deep. Kittredge will pick up. Klein taking off just a little bit too early for any of his teammates to find him. Price upfield to Lamar. Lamar to Kittredge. Interesting throw there. Gets to Lamar. Wow. Lamar now with another hammer looking for Babbitt. Babbitt on the goal line.
Not in.
Now flips it to Ben Yacht. Interesting hold, but a hold nonetheless. New York punching that one in. 23-22. Philadelphia missing a big chance to get another break there. Would have been a huge shift. First assist of the night for Jeff Babbitt there, and yet another goal for Ben Yacht. That's 5 on the evening, or excuse me, 6 points on the evening now for Yacht. He has been all over the place.
Jeff Babbitt's been surprisingly and uncharacteristically quiet so far this game. We haven't seen him much on defense, do anything spectacular. No big plays on defense. But he has been moving the disc fairly well on offense, as you see, as he scores his first assist there.
You know, sometimes the testament of a good defender is when you don't actually hear their name called a whole lot, because that just means they're shutting down their matchup, not allowing the disc to get there. But Babbitt, second on this team in blocks, 13 on the season. Definitely have not called his name enough for what you would expect out of him. He's made a name for himself making sensational plays. We saw a few of them. We saw just the last time we were here. He made a crazy layout play in the end zone to knock it away from Nasser Mabe Vogel in the end zone. And had one just last weekend as well, playing up in Ottawa, a great layout D in the end zone. Those are the types of plays we've come to expect from Jeb Babbitt. And by those standards, he has certainly been quiet.
Hey, you got to realize that when he makes plays like that, he gets the rest of his team fired up.
Miscommunication there. Mott not taking off. Scott Zhu ripping it downfield. Eileen Murray definitely toying with some of the matchups now. We had Ben Yott matched up with Scott Zhu that time, and Kittredge once again staying on Sean Mott. That seems to be a matchup they're going to continue to go to. We mentioned earlier Marquez Brownlee not doing a whole lot in terms of shutting down Mott's offensive production. We'll have to see if Kittredge can be better tasked to do so in this fourth quarter.
Scott Zhu and Sean Mott actually just switched their matchups, with Mott now on Yacht. Scott Zhu taking the Bo Kittredge matchup.
Matt Weintraub here finding Babbitt underneath. Upfield to Kittredge. Now to Ross Ward.
Ooh.
Tight window there. Ben Davies almost getting the D. Weintraub getting it back. Another very consistent handler for this New York team. Much like Elliott Lee is for the offensive unit, Weintraub fills that same role for the defense. Taking a shot downfield here, though, looking for Kittredge. Kittredge running onto it. That's a break for New York, tying it back up again. Being the patient reset handler, takes a shot downfield for his first assist of the game. Finding Bo Kittredge in the end zone. Kittredge beating Scott Zhu there. Beautiful throw from Weintraub.
Yeah, Matty Weintraub is a great defensive handler on this Empire team. He has great vision, makes very smart decisions, as you see there.
Second year with the New York Empire, 98% completion percentage, similar to Elliott Lee so far this season. He has been one of the key players in terms... He won't turn the disc over at all. Philadelphia calling a timeout here. Trey Katzen back wanting to talk things over with his team. Figure out what exactly the game plan is here with just about halfway through this fourth quarter. Game tied here. The final timeout for Philadelphia, too.
Yeah, it seems like this Philadelphia Phoenix offense has slowed up a little bit. You got to wonder if all that grinding early on in the game is kind of taking its toll. It's kind of slowing them down at this point.
Philadelphia looks certainly a lot slower, and New York looks pretty, I don't want to say fresh, but they look energized, look intense.
They've definitely woken up.
We've seen the layout from Ben Yott to start this quarter. Bo Kittredge at the end of the third. Definitely putting their bodies on the line so far in this fourth quarter. And the second, really the latter stages of the second half to try and get themselves back even here. Still just even, though. Unable to reclaim the lead they had throughout most of that first quarter. Philadelphia's offense heading back onto the field after just one turnover in the first half. Certainly a little sloppier play from Philly so far. Seen a couple of unforced errors. Some of that can be attributed to some higher pressure from this New York defense, but Philadelphia definitely playing almost down a notch from what we saw in that first half. New York getting set to pull here. Marquez Brownlee set to pull this one downfield again.
Another line drive from Marquez.
Just going to sneak in there. Front of the end zone. Excellent pull that time from Brownlee. Really driving Katzen back deep to catch that one. Damiano now middle of the field. Wang matching up with Arcado once again. Jake Price matching up with Trey Katzenbach.
So far, it's been the Katzenbach Arcata show here on the Phoenix offense.
Pretty much no one else touching it. Dustin Damiano, the only other Phoenix player to touch the disc on this point so far. And right back to Arcata. The storyline continues here.
Yes, there's Sean Mott on the far side.
Finally, somebody else getting the disc there. New York doing a really nice job of taking away these in-cuts here, making it difficult for Philly to find anything downfield. Another break throw from Arcata.
Phoenix staying calm, staying patient here.
The crowd getting into it. A lot of contact there in the middle of the field.
Looks like there's going to be a call there for sure on who. It's going to be on the Phoenix. It's going to be called on Arcata.
Arcata running through Frank Wang there.
Frank Wang taking the charge, you could say.
Yeah, and Arcata not happy about it. Seemed to say something to Wang there. Wang seemed like he just took position, got plowed over.
Yeah.
Marching Philadelphia back 10 more yards. Price almost getting a hand of that one, turning just a half second too late to get a full play on that. Brownlee trailing there underneath Martin.
Baiting out that deep throw a little bit.
Excuse me, Damiano there. Damiano taking off deep. Philly has kept possession here and moved the disc well, but not really gaining a whole lot of yardage. Now upfield, nice inside break there from Scott Zhu.
And Phoenix is content with doing this. They'll play this small ball for the rest of the quarter if they have to.
Trey Katzenbach certainly embracing the grind on this one. He's been getting the disc a lot on this point, moving it back and forth between him, Mike Arcata, and Sean Mott in the handler space. Marquez Brownlee is playing almost a full 5 yards underneath Dustin Damiano, and Philadelphia unwilling to challenge Brownlee deep. Deep shot here, Babbitt raising up!
There he is.
Finally, Jeff Babbitt showing up, making a big defensive play just when they need him to.
Out of the woodwork. Looks off the deep shot. Puts up the hammer.
Yeah, reading it well. That's going to be a lead down for New York. 24-23. Babbitt with the block and then the assist on the downfield hammer. Incredible sequence there from Jeff Babbitt. Jeff Babbitt had no business making that deal in the first place. This not at all intended for his player. Rising up to snag that one out of the air and then making about a 60-yard hammer throw to Ben Yacht in the end zone. Yacht doing a nice job to read it and bring it down.
That's exactly what you want if you're the Empire defense right there. You spent a long point just making the Phoenix players just work for as little amount of yardage as possible. I think they probably moved it about 30 yards up the field that time. And turns up to be a turnover. They punched it in. Babbitt with a bold hammer there.
Certainly a bold move from him, but you get a score and 3 goals there when you counter that to Philadelphia. Safely estimate had about 30 throws on that last point. Now you got to turn around and do it all over again.
Matty Weintraub, first one down the field.
Slowing down that first throw initially.
Josh Allura making an appearance on defense here.
Matching up with Scotty Shue. Those two know each other well.
Oh, no.
Play against each other plenty. Downfield now, Ross Ward, you got to come up with bookends.
Wow.
Ward catching it in. And taking off deep. Brownlee sailing into the end zone. The New York crowd is into it. The New York sideline is into it. And New York is up by 2 now, 25-23. The largest lead of the game for the Empire.
Incredible.
Miscommunication there. Sean Mott looking for an in-cut. Ross Ward continuing and catching that in stride. It looked like the throw was intended for Ward.
Yeah. You can definitely say that fatigue is starting to sit in here for this Phoenix offense. You hate to see it, but again, you're missing a lot of top-tier players. It looks like it's starting to take an effect on their overall offensive game.
New York's D-line finally stepping up. Probably a bit of an easier one there. Not quite the same effort we saw exerted by Jeff Babbitt the point before, but effort nonetheless. Ross Ward in the right place at the right time and then scoring the goal to get New York up by 2.
We usually say you take what the defense gives you, but in this case, you just take what the offense gives you. If they're going to throw it to you, let them.
Ross Ward making it look easy. Philadelphia A little slow in the transition there, unsure of what happened, seemed to be trying to figure out where the breakdown was, and while that was happening, New York punched it in the end zone. Philly back on offense here. 2 straight breaks for New York. The Phoenix need to do something to right the ship here.
Yeah, we can see some of the Empire defenders starting to do some cheeky little poaches here.
Challenging Philly to hang on for that extra half second and really determine where they want to put this disc. Dave Wenzel getting to a high stall count here. Once again, New York tightening up. Philadelphia moving the disc well, but not really gaining a whole lot of yardage here. Trapped against this forced sideline as well for New York. Arcata doing a good job there to get it off.
Scott Zoo looking for a cut to that break side to hit the continue, but nothing's there. He finally finds Wenzel up the field to Arcata. He's going to take the shot.
Oh, and just underthrows it. Arcata wide open, no mark on him. Nardelli would have walked into the end zone with that one. Arcata short-armed it.
Empire calling a timeout.
Several yards short. New York taking a timeout here, wanting to punch this one in, sensing blood in the water and knowing they have a chance here to really make a statement. Could be a potential 3rd break in a row for this New York D-line.
You hate to see this if you're a Philadelphia Phoenix fan, to have your team come out firing early in the first half and then looking a little bit deflated in the second half.
For 3 quarters, the Philadelphia Phoenix were close to perfect. And in this 4th quarter, we've seen the wheels come off. Lots of turnovers, lots of unforced errors, and unable to get it back. New York punching things in here. The D-line doing its job and getting these breaks needed to really start to create a New York lead here for the first time we've seen all game. Long way to go here for the Empire as they send their offensive unit out there. Kittredge out there, Matt the Cat Stevens, Elliott Lee, Ben Yott, Josh Aloro, Matt Aletta, and Jabron Meeser. Philadelphia setting up now. Campanella out there alongside Pollard. Greg Martin hanging out over the top. Igor Smola coming to play defense on Jabron Meeser.
Elliott Lee just sneaking into the center there. Very sly, Elliott.
A little bit of a junk look here almost. We've got Greg Martin hanging out over the top of the whole defense. He's in the vicinity of Bo Kittredge, but that leaves Matt Esser wide open in this upfield space. Lee taking a rip downfield, looking for Yott. Yott going up and getting it.
Chooses not to throw to a wide open Cat Stevens.
Instead finds Aletta. Aletta flips it up, and that's a goal to Josh Aloro. And that's a 3rd straight break for the New York Empire. Unbelievable rip right there from Elliott Lee. Sets up the goal. Matt Aletta to Josh Aloro. Is that aggressive enough for you with Elliott Lee?
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to see. That's what I've been looking for. He's clearly capable, right?
No question there. He put the throw right on the money for Ben Yott. Yott beating Pollard downfield. Flipping it to Aletta, and Aletta going over the top to Josh Aloro for the goal. Fun stuff to watch for sure. Exciting ultimate here in the 4th quarter here in New Rochelle, New York. Philadelphia fans got to hate it a little bit after watching their team control this game so much of it. 3 quarters, Philadelphia seemed to be in control, leading for most of it, and now find themselves down by 3 with just over 2 minutes to play.
It's quite funny how the game of Frisbee works. You know, we're talking about what does the New York Empire defense need to do in the first half, and now it's what does the Phoenix offense have to do, and what do they have to do on defense now as well?
Needs to get back on track here. Can't think about the defense before they figure out what is going on downfield. A call here.
Pick called before
I think that's
going
to come back. Arcata getting bailed out there. Have to wonder if Strauss maybe stopped running when he heard the whistle go off. But
that's probably the case.
A little bit overthrown there. So Arcata will get it back. Let's march back a few yards. Time running down here. Phoenix not really putting a whole lot of pace into resetting their offense, though. Ticking down to about a minute and a half to go. Davies racing onto it.
Nice break side cut there from Ben Davies. He's going to find Trey up the field.
Pats him back downfield for Shu. Rip from Shu, looking downfield.
Oh.
And getting a hand to it is Ross Ward. Another D for Ross Ward. He's coming up big in this fourth quarter. Connor Klein now with the disc. Finding Price. Price upfield for Ward. And New York could punch this one in and essentially put this game to bed. Downfield for Lamar, and Lamar going up and getting it. 4 straight bricks for New York.
Wow.
And the wheels have completely fallen off now for Philadelphia. 27-23 Empire lead. Philadelphia doesn't know what hit them. The offense looks stunned right now. The Philly team reeling still, trying to find a way back into this game, and at this point it might be a little bit too little too late.
I think that is the case with 54 seconds left. I don't really see the Phoenix coming back here. They might score, a goal or two, but I don't think they're going to win.
We had a little bit of a feeling that New York was really starting to hit their stride at the end of the third quarter. Had some thoughts that maybe they would carry that momentum into the fourth. Phoenix came out, stole it back at the beginning of this quarter, but it's been all Empire here in the closing minutes of this game.
Let the record state that in between the third and the fourth quarter, Chris McGlynn said that the Empire would come back and win this game by 4 points. Right now they are up 4 points.
So you know what that means, right? That means that Philadelphia is going to score this last point here just to ensure that I don't get this prediction right. So, final seconds here. Off the hands of Matt Esser, a tough grab. Matt Weinschab going to pick it up. In no hurry here.
Just find the open person. That's it.
New York can swing it around here and close this one out. Clock ticks under 30 seconds here. And it's going to be another win for the Empire. They will move to 7-5 on the season. Think back to the last time we saw New York on this field, dropping a crushing game against the Montreal Royale. Now winners of 3 straight. And going to set themselves up well to move in to a really solid playoff position. The clock hits 0. New York wins it 27-23. The fans letting them hear it now, celebrating what was a great comeback here in the final quarter of this one.
Great finish from the New York Empire. Quite the game as well, really. As a spectator, it was a lot of fun to watch.
A lot of questions being asked of this New York team after blowing the lead late to Montreal, allowing 4 straight goals given up against the Royale here at home. Since then, going on the road, getting their first 2 road wins of the season, beating Ottawa, beating Montreal, coming back home, and giving people a scare every now and then, but in the end, taking care of business. Solid 4-point victory for the Empire.
Teams will now both show their love for the amazing crowd that we've had here out here at New Rochelle, New York. As they line up, shake hands.
New York coming with a win. Sean, who's your player of the game in this one?
I think on New York, I think I got to give it to, I would say it's between Ben Yacht and Josh Aloro. Both putting up major points on the offensive side. And for Phoenix, I'm giving it to Sean Mott all day.
Sean Mott was sensational for a good chunk of this game. Not able to do enough in that final quarter. I'm gonna counter you here for New York, though. I'm gonna go with Matt the Cat Stevens. He had some really critical goals early on in this game. Made some big plays. Got himself open. 5 goals was his final tally. Added 2 assists as well. It is gonna be tough for Philadelphia to know they came this close and to find their season coming to an end now. They'll play next week against New York once again, down in Philadelphia, but the chances of making the playoffs are now out of reach.
Sean Mott was just named MVP for the Philadelphia Phoenix.
And there you go. He certainly got that one right. He put on a show tonight, making play after play, coming up with some big plays, some big grabs early on in this game. Definitely something that we'll probably see on the AUDL Top 10 this week. We'll have to wait and see who New York's MVP will be for this one. New York's next game will be taking on DC. really help determine the seeding of this East Division playoffs. New York currently ahead right now, but we need to see who ends up coming out on top. Ross Ward coming out with the New York Empire MVP. He had 2 Ds in that final quarter and a goal in what was crunch time for the New York Empire. I know neither of us happen to pick him, but I don't think I can argue with that one.
Yeah. Sure.
Back to the DC Breeze matchup. Whoever wins that game will likely end up controlling home field advantage for that first round playoff game in the East Division. New York certainly looking to go down there and pick up another road win. DC, though, coming in hot, get the weekend off this weekend, but will come back out, though, the final game of the weekend, hosting the Empire. That'll be the next time you'll see the Empire in action. For Sean Dacey and for Mark Sands here in our production studio, I'm Chris McGlynn. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and have a good evening.